Filling in the gap between episodes 3, Revenge of the Sith, and 4, A New Hope, we are here discussing Sylvain Neuvel's short story, TK-146275. Found in Titan Magazine's Star Wars Insider, issue number 166, TK-146275 tells us the untold story of a single stormtrooper. On Tarkin's home planet of Iradu, the year Tarkin became Grand Moff, the narrator of our story, Stormtrooper TK-146275, tells the tale of rebels who flew down and tried to steal 2 air scrubbers from his father's farm. It is not for sure if these were actually rebels, but the narrator sure believes it was. During the attempted theft, one of the air scrubbers fell through the roof of his house, crushing his little sister. It was at that moment that he knew he wanted to kill rebels. During a visit by the Grand Moff shortly after the incident, he was exposed for the first time to stormtroopers, and at that moment he knew that's what he wanted to be. Against his father's wishes, he snuck out in the middle of the night and enlisted. He breezed through junior academy, not because of his aptitude, but because there were so few in his class, and his instructors were more concerned about quantity and quotas over quality. He made it to the Imperial Academy on Iriadu, and was instructed by Lasar, a clone who fought in the Grand Army of the Republic during the Clone Wars. Lasar has a particular disdain for our narrator, and constantly had the other recruits abuse him throughout his years at the Academy. However, after constant abuse, his determination ultimately rewarded him a commission in the ranks of the Stormtroopers, and he was stationed right there on Iriadu, patrolling District 5. He enjoyed the sense of order and protection that the Stormtroopers provided the citizens. However, his anger at the rebels for what they did to his sister encouraged him to volunteer for deployment on Lothal, where they were sending more and more troops. Suddenly, the black and white of right versus wrong became much more gray, as he was asked to do things that were harder for him to carry out. He did them, but it was he and his comrades who had to deal with the screams of the citizens as they burned a small village down. This is perhaps referring to the destruction of Tarkin Town witnessed in the final episode of Season 1 of Star Wars Rebels. TK-146275's final assignment: to hunt down the thieves of a shipment of rare kyber crystals. This is confirming the Empire's mining activities on Lothal. They found the shipment abandoned near one of their checkposts, but they were determined to find the thief. They dragged a Rhodian shopkeeper to the center of the square and announced that they would kill him if the thief did not show. The thief did not show. The Rhodian fell to the ground. A woman was selected next, but as soon as the stormtrooper counted to 3, a man appeared with a rifle pointed at the stormtrooper. Our narrator shot him down. Then, out of the doorway came a young girl who grieved over the death of the man. In the square, blasters were being fired everywhere, but our narrator was facing this child, who had taken the rifle and pointed it straight at him. She's going to grow up to be a rebel, she's going to kill stormtroopers, and our narrator will be seeing his sister soon. This short story is a great exploration into the mind of a single stormtrooper, the realization that the black and white of the Empire and the Rebellion are much more grayer than perhaps we see on the surface. Having the story told by a stormtrooper gives us a look into the psyche of one individual and why they would have chosen that particular life. This is another story that adds a great deal of depth within the layers of storytelling in the Star Wars canon. Thank you for watching! Be sure to subscribe to keep up with all the insight and analysis found here at Star Wars The Canon Explained. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Leave your comments and questions about this story or any element of the Star Wars canon below. Till next time, may the Force be with you.